Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought I'd go over the changelogs of the last week or so when it comes to Enlisted. Obviously we've been focused on the Christmas event for Enlisted and also the sales, but at the same time there's been a bunch of bug fixes and also a bunch of balance changes to the game which I think are worthy to look at. The event so far for me is going pretty well. I'm 50k into it, and I've got to say, the event itself, I feel like if I really push myself, I could probably get it done in like 3 or 4 days. So there's plenty of time to get it done, and hopefully people are enjoying it. As always, if you enjoy the channel, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. Let's get into the changelogs. So looking at the updates, which was just after update High Caliber, they obviously started fixing bugs when it came to some of the new additions. So the first one was reduce the angle of guaranteed ricochet of high explosive projectiles from 75 degrees. This change will also increase the chance of projectile detonation. A smaller angle of contact with the surface will not trigger the fuse and the projectile will ricochet. So therefore becoming a little bit less dangerous. They fixed a bug which sometimes made it impossible to use a heavy machine gun, and also the balance of new missions has also been corrected. I've definitely felt like a lot of missions have been, let's say, balanced one way or another. Some of the zones take absolutely years to capture right now, and it's kind of crazy. Certain maps, such as stuff in Tunisia and also Stalingrad, I feel like need a bit of a revisit when it comes to that stuff, since the balance of power has changed, because, well, most people have either completed those campaigns and don't come back, or have just been kind of chilling on them. Then you have update 0.4.1.37. They fixed the bomb load of the Ju-188A2. It now has a payload of 6 250s, as it was before an incorrect change. So people thought that they balanced the Ju-188. Nah, we're not gonna balance that at all. We're just we're gonna continue just bombing the hell out of everything, just like in Normandy, where the Germans also have the Panther and also have the Tiger, and the Americans have nothing to deal with them. Even like the end bazooka there hardly does any damage to them. So yeah, just keep bombing, just keep blowing everything up. Normandy's such a great campaign right now. I love all the vehicles they've added, just like Berlin. It's so fun fighting Tiger 2Ps that you can hardly pen with Panzerfaust. It's really awesome. Could we stop adding these bloody vehicles into the game? They're actually ruining the experience of it. It is absolutely awful right now when it comes to these things. Games in Enlisted are super fun when those vehicles aren't involved. The moment those vehicles are involved, it is absolute hell on earth. Please, for the love of God, stop adding them. The fixed bug that caused parts of the bushes and trees to allow AI to see through foliage, so basically what was probably there before. The BR-412 shell of the SU-100 was replaced with the BR-412B, so it'll probably get a bit more penetration on it. There's still no reason to play the SU-100. It's way too limited compared to other machines. They fixed cases where the P-40E-1 aircraft could not use all of its machine gun ammo in Stalingrad, which is kind of an odd one. They also fixed a bug that caused decorations of German helmets to disappear. They added overalls to the customization of Premium Axis tank squads in Berlin, and it is also now impossible to mark enemies through smoke, which could have obviously been a little bit broken. They fixed missing ammo in the Type 97 type anti-tank rifle in the Actis practice mode in the Pacific War campaign, and the upgrade set for the Fedorov machine gun has been identical to the Fedorov assault rifle now, so instead of being different. So increased damage bonus, increased accuracy, added recoil reduction, removed the speed of fire bonus, and also removed the reloading speed bonus. So now it should be more standard. When it comes to the 21st of December, they've tried to do a balance update to the game. The first one that they've changed is the bomber airstrikes. They changed a few things, how the radio operator actually interacts with them. So the radio operator squad frequent artillery research now reduces the time between bombing and airstrike calls by half. It used to be 4 times. And then the frequency between airstrike calls is set to 60 minutes without the squad upgrade and 8 minutes with the upgrade. So basically you can't just spam them over and over again as an individual person. But if you have a squad or a setup of 2 or 3 people doing it, then you can still spam it over and over again. To be honest with you, I don't mind bomber strikes that much. I know it's annoying to randomly die, but at this point in Enlisted, we're already past that. If there are much larger issues with randomly dying, such as, of course, all of the stupid vehicles that they've added. How about if we deal with that, then this can be dealt with, right? This is not the issue. This is something that affects the battle every, maybe, I don't know, few minutes, whereas tanks, especially the larger ones, affected every second of the game. So I don't see this as a huge issue, and also at the same time, on certain maps, sometimes you actually do need a clean sweep to be able to push through instead of just being running into like an iron wall over and over and over again. Also, at the same time, remember that the first airstrike caller is available 30 seconds after the start of the battle, allowing you to still use this ability even if the battle itself is short. They also increased the display area of warning marker in front of the bombers. The marker is visible to players controlling an aircraft, anti-aircraft engineer's gun, or SBAG, and allows you to effectively counter an airstrike faster. The direction of the air bombing formation is now marked with a special marker if they're not visible on the screen. They reduced the flying height of the bombers and also changed the bomb weight of Soviet AI bombers. All 100 kilos have been replaced by 50 kilos, same as the other bombers, so that's good. At least now everything should be the same. The main issue with the bombers is even if you target them, you have such a small period of time to actually target them, you're never going to be able to take all of them out. And then also, they're quite tanky, so going after them in planes and stuff, yeah, you get a lot of mission score, but what's the point? Like, so it's just like the tank thing again. You could just bomb tanks, right? Okay, let's bomb a tank. Okay, it's dead. Hey, guess what? Another tank's just appeared. Then you bomb it again. Hey, guess what? There's another tank that's just appeared. There's no point in killing the bombers because they just come back again. There's no reason to do it. It doesn't, like, you're not going to be able to kill all 5. They're going to do what they're doing, and maybe you save a few people on the ground, but it's just not worth it. It's much better to actually affect in another way. And then, oh, you killed a bunch of bombers. Well, great. The whole, guess what? They've just brought back another bombing run, and you have to do it all over again. The issue is, like, when it comes to a lot of these things, it's the fact that when you kill stuff, it doesn't make any difference in the game. Because it just comes back again in another form from another person very quickly. That's the problem, right? It's the same reason why people crash their planes into the ground when they've done bombing runs, because it's much more efficient for them to do that and then get back on the ground to get back into the battle. There is no penalty for losing stuff in this game, so it just becomes an absolute, just mashing each other in the face, and whoever has the bigger toy, and even if, like, at the same time, you can't, like, consistently get into that big toy, you are going to win. It's very annoying right now when you're in those battles. If you're against people who are fully done up and also are vehicle players, it is one of the most annoying, obnoxious experiences in gaming. For the past few updates also, they've been collecting feedback and have already introduced several other important bomber-related improvements. The structural strength of the bombers has been reduced. Supposedly, the armor belt used by bomber gunners has become predominantly tracer, such as ammunition is more visible and has slightly lower damage characteristics than high explosive filled ammunition. We have increased the building speed of anti-aircraft guns and reduced their cost of construction. Due to these changes, airstrikes do still remain an incredibly dangerous weapon, but they have become rarer and more onus. In now, put on the tactical skill of the commanders, we must choose the right moment to use them. By the way, all the time is the good time to use them, because once you use them, then your team can set up to move in when they go. Also, other update improvements. They improved the visual effects of water hits. They fixed the starting camera position in Chateau de Bosque, the Conquest mission, and also fixed a bug that caused some vehicle customization items to be unavailable to choose. They also fixed a bug that caused some soldier decorators to be unavailable to choose from the Allies of the Invasion of Normandy campaign, corrected camera position on the AVS-36 sniper rifle, fixed a display on the Flammenwerfer 35 flamethrower, and then also added an animation for fast reload of the Type 9790 tank rifle. They fixed a bug where the BM41 and KZ 8cm GRW42 mortars could be purchased for enlisted gold in the Battle for Stalingrad campaign, and also corrected commanders' positions in the commander's hatch for the IS-1 and the IS-2. while also fixing a bug that caused the battle not to end after capturing the last point of the ruin of Vo North invasion of the mission, if you ever actually got there. They also had a small update on the 20th, which was 0.4.1.141, and they fixed a bug that caused crew members to get stuck inside the IS-1 and IS-2 tank models when exiting them. Seems like there's been quite a few bugs with those vehicles for some reason. They fixed some tree models in the Invasion of Normandy campaign, improved the balance of various missions in all campaigns. It would be nice to see the actual balance changes on that one. They fixed the incorrect icon of the SIG 1920, and the track to plant location has been added to the mod editor. I do kind of want to go around the track to plant mission, but I don't actually want to play Stalingrad. So I think I'll just have a look at it in the mission editor. They've also corrected the penetration of wooden structures. Now large caliber machine guns do not pierce through them. This is a good change. HMGs were very annoying to play against. Basically what people would do is just set up crossfires and just annihilate everything. One of the problems with doing stuff like that is there's a lot of maps instead of on campaign, especially on campaigns such as Moscow, and then also Tunisia, not Tunisia, well kind of Tunisia, but not as much Tunisia. The Pacific campaign, where a lot of it is actually very open, since a lot of the defensive structures are made out of wood or lighter materials. This is an issue we saw with the M16 in the Pacific when it was first added. Basically, the M16 would just penetrate everything and just kind of annihilate everything, and it wasn't very fun. So they've taken that away from HMGs now, which is a positive change. They've also increased the installation time of large caliber machine guns from 7 to 12 seconds. This is also a positive change, and they've fixed a bug that caused the Thompson M1928A1 to have reduced recoil. The recoil has increased by 63% and now matches other Thompson submachine guns in the game. So I suppose there's not really much point in using it. The base ammunition of some weapons in the Invasion of Normandy and Battle of Berlin campaigns have been increased. I don't know why they've done this. They've just made the strongest weapons in the game even stronger. It seems a little bit odd. The Gewehrs, the KBSBs, the SVTs, all have increased ammo to 50 instead of 30 now, and also the Peterson rifle. The AVT-40 now has 60 rounds instead of 45. The FG-42s have 60 rounds instead of 40. The AV-36 has 60 instead of 45. The Garat has 45 instead of 30. And the M1 Garand and Garand Sniper has 48 instead of 32. I don't know why they've made this change. It just seems really odd. They've taken all of the better weapons and just given them more ammo. And now the balance between them is going to be way more in favor of them, even though it's already in favor of them. They also fixed the commander's position on pretty much all the Panzerkampfwagen 3s and 4s, so hopefully that is now fixed. That's all the changes. When it comes to Enlisted over the last little bit, most of them are positive. We'll have to see how the bombing stuff affects everything. My main issues in the game have not been addressed. As I've said, it's been quite frustrating playing over the last few days, certain campaigns, just because I've been taken over by vehicles. And Enlisted's supposed to be an infantry combat game, and it doesn't feel like an infantry combat game. It feels like you are just getting beaten up by vehicles, as always. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Forge, Siegebreak, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, and also Sem Arslan, Wilkski, Uncle Bean, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.